Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another terrific episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. In one corner, we have the greatest thing on God's green earth. No, we're not talking money, Mary Jane, or Popeye spinach. He's the track dart of Ringside Society and Delaware's greatest American hero. It takes two to make a thing go right. He's Rob Bass, and you are not. In the second quarter, we have that ocean crossing, straight up Boston, flight catching, shot glass snatching, always on the go. Catch him if you can. Said his name in Guyana. Now they love him in Japan. No cap, the worldwide star boy, Remy Bloom. And our special guest tonight is a man who is kicking ass and taking names. And he kicked so much ass and took so much names until he became Lucha Brutal's great state champion. Everybody, welcome to the show. Hold on. Give me a second. My Spanish is a little bit rusty. It's been umpteen years since I took Spanish too. Doce Niño Hispano Antonio San Francisco ASF.
Woo! Some real good Spanish.
Antonio, thank you very much for agreeing to be on our show. You've been on our radar for a hot minute, man. We know you're a busy man. You got a lot of things going on and so on. You know, in Texas, Texas being like one of the hotbeds of pro wrestling, and there's wrestling like everywhere and so on, man. But we really and truly appreciate you actually giving us this time, to actually talk to you and hear your story and whatnot. So how's everything going on over there in Texas, man?
First, thank you guys for having me. It's been a minute since you guys messaged me. I'm sorry I didn't. Did y'all hear that? Something just fell.
It's okay. It's okay, man.
Anyways, hey, thank you guys for having me. Texas is hot.
I was going to say Rob's dog is going to make a cameo sometime soon, so it's all good. But go ahead, man.
Yeah. That was actually my dogs. I own 2 pugs. They just dropped some laundry I had on the. Anyways, Texas over here is hot, but we do what we can. Got the AC going on in full blast. Keep busy.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, Texas, man. I'm actually jealous, man. All that great wrestling y'all got, and I see Lucha Brutal and. You're defending your title against I know, and I hope he doesn't kick my ass. Chris Cruz, and then you got your showmates, guys that are gonna be on the same show as you. Howard Horsepower, the Power Glider Eddie Martinez, and Concrete Nate Collins going up against one of Texas's most talked about tag teams. Warren Johnson and Zach Mason, collectively known as Fly Death. So I'm actually, and then y'all got Vert Vixen, Jasmine Allure is gonna be on there. You got Prince Adam. I'm like, man, I wish I lived in Texas, man. I'm stuck over here in North Carolina, and it ain't even popping over here, man. And not even the good part. I'm in like small town called Jacksonville, so it's like, man, I need to move somewhere else.
Move on over to Texas.
I just might, man. I was in San Antonio for like 8 months. I enjoyed it. I was always on the Riverwalk when I got a chance. Mm-hmm. I've been to Austin. I've been to Houston. Great cities. Austin looks like Rockstar Central, which I mean in a very good way. Houston is a big city as well too. I gotta take another trip there real soon. Actually, I was only there for like 1 day, and that's not enough. So hopefully, I definitely got to do another trip over there real soon. But yeah. So I always ask all my like 99% of our hosts of our guests that we have on here, what was the wrestling event or pay-per-view that made you become a fan of professional wrestling?
Well, I've been going to wrestling shows all my life since I was like 3, because I grew up in a border town. I used to go to Mexican lucha shows, but one show that did make me watch consistent after that one was WrestleMania 22. And it wasn't even like the day of the live WrestleMania. I saw it on DVD. My sister's ex-boyfriend brought it over, and I watched it like that. That's how I watched it, and I just clicked.
Oh, cool. That's on WrestleMania 23. That was Chicago, and
Yeah.
that was John Cena versus Triple H. I remember that,
Mm-hmm.
and
The
Mick Foley
triple threat
versus
match.
Edge.
The triple threat
Yeah,
match for the world
and
heavyweight title. Kurt Angle,
oh yeah,
Randy Orton,
yeah.
Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, and then you had I know you had a couple. I can't remember. It was so long. It's been 15 years, but yeah, I remember that one pretty well. It was a good one. Oh, you had Shawn Michaels versus Vince McMahon.
Yeah, the off the ladder, the big elbow drop.
Yeah. And then when Vince McMahon was rolled away on a stretcher, he was still showing Shawn Michaels a middle finger. So yeah, that was a classic one. Oh man, they don't make WrestleManias like they used to, man. Oh geez, I could still remember Edge spearing Mick Foley through
Right in the
thing
table.
of fire. Yeah. Hey, your sister's boyfriend did you well with that WrestleMania. That was a great
Ex
way to start
boyfriend,
off, man.
ex boyfriend.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
but
that
yeah,
was
that was a one pay-per-view that got me hooked.
cool. Yeah, man. So growing up, who are some of your favorites you like seeing, man?
Well, I'm Hispanic Latino, so Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero. But if I will have to name like some that aren't of Latino like backgrounds, I'd say I'm gonna be real honest with you. John Cena. I'll be one of those guys. It's like John Cena, Edge, people like that because I didn't really watch too much of the Attitude Era. I'll be honest with you guys. I started watching more towards the Ruthless Aggression era when SmackDown was popping, and SmackDown had the better roster than Raw in like the late 2000s, 2005 and shit like that.
Okay.
But yeah, influences would be like John Cena, Edge, CM Punk that just came back to wrestling, which is really cool.
Yeah. Eddie Guerrero, man. Rey Mysterio is one of my favorite luchadors, man. I would never forget his matches with Juventud Guerrero, who's another one who I'm just so it's just sad that he never got more. I mean, he got some exposure as the Mexicools, which is a gimmick I hated because I felt
Mhm.
like I don't like. So I'm sorry, but I don't like stereotypical gimmicks
I
and
get
stuff.
you.
So it's like I get like for example, Rob is from Delaware, and if they were famous for chicken, if somebody were to put Rob in a chicken mining gimmick, I'd be like, nah, that ain't it, man. I hate stuff like that. But I'm not saying that because you're in front of me, like
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
I
No, no,
knew what Juventud Guerrera,
the
Super Crazy,
juice.
and hey, by the way, if I'm rolling my R's, my apologies. I have a great appreciation for the Hispanic language, so I'm not trying to appropriate anybody's culture at all. So please don't. I don't mean any offense at all. But when I had when I looked at those three, I'm like Psychosis, Juventud, and
Super
Super
crazy.
Crazy. I'm like, really, Vince? Like, you're really gonna do? These men could do so much more. You're gonna do this, like? But I mean, that's WWE for you. I mean, the big check, but you gotta go through some stuff.
Maybe the gear and the
I think that,
lawnmowers was too much, but the name I think sounds really cool. It makes it cool. It's a really catchy name, don't you think?
yeah, yeah, it is, it is. But they could have done something like a better
Something
image,
different.
like for
Yeah,
example,
I feel you.
Legado, Legado del Fantasma. I like that. I love that gimmick. I could roll with
Hmm.
that. The way they come out with the suits and everything.
Hmm.
That they did a great job with that. But yeah, man. But yeah, Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero. I don't know if you know this guy, but he was a personal favorite of mine. One of my first favorites when I started watching. Tito Santana.
Okay.
Very great guy. If you never seen him, whew, that man could go. So, did you ever? So you said you lived on in a border town, right?
Hmm. Laredo, Texas. It's border town to
Oh, did you
Nuevo
ever get to go to
Laredo.
like? Okay. Did you ever get to go to like you ever get to see like CMLL or AAA in like in
Yeah,
person?
yes, actually, every Monday there used to be a AAA show right across the border from my city, and my dad was a big fan. So ever since I was 3, I used to go to those. So I got to watch La Parca, I got to watch Octagon, Máscara Sagrada, Psychosis, all of them back then. Yeah, when I was younger, I got to watch a
Yo,
lot of them wrestle.
the chairman of WCW La Parca, man. Yo, that guy. Oh man. Woo, you taking
Yeah.
me back to like my preteens now, man. Yeah. So now that you're cheering your favorites and whatnot, and you're going to the shows, how did your journey go from wrestling fan to now a professional wrestler? How did like you end up at the training school and your first how did your first match go and so on?
Okay. So the wrestling has always been in my life, but my parents never really let me look for a training school. I turned 18, graduated high school, and I said, I'm doing this because I love wrestling. I want to wrestle. Turns out, 3 blocks away from my house, there is a wrestling ring in a backyard. I go ask, and they say, oh, this local wrestler comes and gives us classes. So I started training there for a month. The guy stops giving his classes. The ring's still there. A show happens. I go. Alberto Del Rio was the main event of this show. But before that match, there was a guy called Laredo Kid. I don't know if you guys heard of him.
Oh, I know him. I'm very
Yeah,
familiar with him.
Laredo Kid was the semi match, I think. So, but after the show, I went up to him, me and another one of my training partners, and we asked him, "Do you mind giving us training lessons?" And he agreed. He showed up, and he ended up liking us. That we trained with him for about 3 to 4 years after that.
What? So you were trained by the Laredo Kid who was on AEW with
Yeah,
don't tell me Lucha Bros, Pentagon, and Ray Phoenix, who also Lucha Laredo Kid who also teamed with Angel Garza in Impact Wrestling.
yeah.
Wow.
That was my trainer for
That's
about 3 years.
it. Yo, I know I am surprised, and I would like to know why that man has not been signed. He is that damn good.
Tell
He
me
had
about it.
chemistry with the Lucha Bros, and I was like, Tony, sign this man. Like,
This guy needs a contract.
honestly speaking, I think it's only a matter of time, though. I think it's only a matter of time. Wow, that's crazy though. Laredo Kid.
Yep,
Wow.
for about 3 years. Then he stopped giving his lessons because he started traveling more. So I went and
Yeah.
looked for other places to train. I got close to Daga and Tessa Blanchard, so now I've been training with them for about 2 years, and that's what I've been doing. I've been just training here, trying to wrestle more, trying to
Hey,
get out of Texas.
ASF. Real talk. You're gonna be a badass by the time we do it. Because you were training with Laredo Kid. Now you're with
Yeah,
Daga and Tessa Blanchard. I'm like, yo, that's what? Ooh. Man, that's hey, you're getting some good training right there, man. So what was your first wrestling match like? Were you like nervous or were you like, I got this, it's time for them to see ASF?
I was nervous, and first I want to point off I was in ASF my first match. I wore a mask and I went by the name Indie Star, and I was wearing a mask, and I did a lucha match. It went really bad. It went 45 minutes long. We were six. We were 5 green kids and one drunk old wrestler that was supposed to take care of us. We went 45 minutes. But it wasn't a
I
good
got
45. It was a bad 45.
wow. I gotta ask you though, man, and you're in Texas. I really want somebody to confirm this. So I've been looking online, and the Lucha Bros. I'm sure they wrestle a lot in Texas. Ray Phoenix and Pentagon Zero. Have you heard anything about a third Lucha brother?
A third Lucha brother?
Yeah, a guy that goes by the name of Icaro.
Icaro. I think if I'm not mistaken, from what I heard, I think they do have another brother. I'm not sure if he was a wrestler. Icaro sounds like one of Phoenix's old names that he used to have before being Phoenix.
Yeah, because I've been hearing rumors that there's a third one, and I'm like, why is he on there? Why isn't he out there with his brothers? I mean, that'd be a good
Trio.
trios team right there. Yeah. So yeah, man. So you've actually had a couple of interesting matches. You wrestled Brian Keith, the bounty hunter, and you wrestled against Joey Ryan. So what was your mindset? And you've also wrestled against Izzy James, a couple of well-known men right there. So going through those matches, was there any nervousness, or were you like, you know what, I got this. This is all me right now.
Well, going into any match, I'm nervous right off the bat. The nerves never really go away, but I'm more confident now than I was, let's say, when I was 1 year into the business. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm more confident now on myself, my abilities. I know what I can do in the ring, and I know I can go to toe with anyone. So the nervousness is now just it. I guess you could say it's a habit now. It's there every time.
Cool, cool, man. Yeah. So in terms of wrestling now, right? You've even gotten to wrestle against in a match with Sammy Guevara and Ricky Starks. You've just been doing it big. But have you gotten a chance to wrestle outside of Texas, like California, Louisiana, any of those places?
I recently went to LA. I wrestled for GCW. I wrestled Jimmy Lloyd 1-on-1. No Signal in the Hills was the name of the show in LA a few
Oh,
weeks ago.
GCW?
Yeah, game changer.
Ooh, I gotta start. I gotta start. I haven't seen a single show for them yet. I know they're great. I know Brett Lauderdale and the gang are doing really well with that promotion. But every time I say, I'm because we had a couple people. We had like, I don't know, these couple people might ring a bell. Midas Creed, Jack Cartwheel, and a couple of other people that from there that have been on our show. And I'm like, I really gotta sit down and watch this. But like every time something comes up, I gotta go somewhere or do something. But I really gotta sit down and watch that one of these days, though.
Yeah, they got
So
good shows.
yeah. So in terms of so you wrestled in California. What other states are you hoping to touch eventually?
Uh, all of them, honestly, all of them. I don't have like a focus point on one. I just want to go everywhere. I just want to travel the world. That's what I want to do.
Oh, cool, cool. Honestly, hope you get that, man. And honestly, I hope you get to experience. I can't speak for Europe, but I hope you get to experience Japan because Japan is awesome. If you're into anime and stuff, you will love it. Especially Tokyo. It's well, I tell everybody if you get a chance to go to Japan, just go. Take it with a smile and go. Trust me, you will wanna go back again. So I just got two more questions before I turn over to Rob. And my second last question is, um, you know, Cody Rhodes several years ago, he actually when he left WWE, he actually posted online several opponents he wanted to face in the near future, and subsequently other wrestlers started doing the same thing as well. So who are ASF's top five opponents that he wants to face in the near future? They could be from anywhere; it doesn't matter.
From anywhere,
Yeah,
um,
WWE, AEW, Impact, Indies.
Seth Rollins.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So that would be one. Um, Sammy Guevara.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Marco Stunt.
Okay.
Okay. Who else? Um, Ares. 1-on-1. You guys familiar with that is?
Who?
Ares.
Ares.
Arez. He's from Mexico. He was recently on PWG. Mystery Vortex. He was just on there. Yeah, him.
I gotta get back into those shows, man.
And if I want to say something out there, something crazy, Nick Gage.
Woo! Wow. Nick Gage is one crazy guy, man. But you're from Texas, so I know you definitely got that. Yeah. So my last question is, in regards to professional wrestling, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Where do I see myself in 5 years? In 5 years, if I'm not in Japan, I see myself somewhere in Mexico, maybe signed with AAA. Hopefully.
Cool. But I definitely hope you make that. Like I said, one thing we like to see here is we like to see people just put in the hard work and get rewarded. And you know, we definitely like to see that happen for people. So we definitely hope you make all those goals as well too. And we hope you get to face all your opponents you want to face and so on. Best believe we hope we get to see you on TV real soon. You know, if not WWE or AEW, maybe Impact. And I'll be like, yo, Rob, we just had that guy on our show, man. Like, yo, look at him now. You know, he's on our screens everywhere. Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna turn it over to Rob. I know Rob asked some questions for you. So go ahead, Rob. The floor is yours.
All right, sweet. So what's going on, man? How you doing today, man? How's your day been?
How's it going? My day's been slow. I've
Oh
just
yeah.
been here at home. Yeah.
Hey, I don't blame you, man. Like you're saying earlier, it's been hot here, but it ain't been Texas hot. You know what I mean? Like it was in the 90s, but the humidity was hurting. But yeah, it wasn't no Texas hot. Man. Like right now, it's 90 degrees still. Like, geez, 7 o'clock here. Like, come on, man.
That's actually not that bad. It's like, it was like 102, something like that over here. It's always hot.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I always talk to people over there like, yeah. It's a dry heat though. It's a dry heat. I'm like, man, even if you're in an oven, 102 is 102, no matter where you at. God, man, it's hot. I can't function in that. I'm like you, man. I got to sit by the AC, man. Shoot.
Yeah.
I couldn't have grown up in the Wild West or anything, man. I've been like melting to death, man. Be like, nah, man, I'm good. And now I'm sitting in the shade all day. No. So, yeah, man, you said you were in Laredo, Texas, man. So, like, it's on a border town. You're right by the Rio Grande, right?
Yeah, right next to it. It's a few blocks away.
Man, what's that river like, man? I always hear stories about it, and it looks pretty cool from the pictures I've seen, man. Is it all right, river, man? Is it pretty cool? I mean,
Yeah.
you probably see it all the time, you know. So you're like, oh yeah, that's
It's just there most of the time.
Yeah.
There's a park right next to it where we used to go play basketball.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Nothing
Yeah.
special.
Oh, that's cool. Now I always want to go out to Texas, man, because Texas, yeah, like Remy was saying earlier, man, you all have so much wrestling on and all that. So big too, man. Like I can't imagine just driving. You know, it's like I'm driving for 6 hours. I'm still in the same state. Like really?
You're still here.
Man, I'm like in the smallest state. I'm in Delaware, man. It's like I can drive from one side of the state to the other in like 20 minutes. You know, it's like yeah, I'm good. Yeah, it's like. But yeah, man. So I do gotta ask, man. Being in Texas, do y'all have any of those crazy wild animals like the chupacabra and Sasquatch and all that stuff? And all that, man, I gotta ask, man.
We have La Llorona. You ever heard of La Llorona?
Nah, what's that?
The crying lady that cries for her children at night by the river.
Oh no, I ain't heard that one. We have a crybaby bridge near me though. I think it might be something like that. Yeah. What's your what happened with your the woman that cries at the lake? What's that story?
I honestly don't know the full details. I just know she died, and now she's looking for her kids, and she goes around screaming "mis hijos," which is like my kids in English.
Okay.
I don't know. It's an urban legend here, but I don't really believe in it. I've never seen her. Once I bump into her, I'll believe it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'll be out. Yeah, because I'm the same way. I'm like, man, I'll play it cool and all, but once I hear that's this muerta, I'm like, nope, I saw myself. I'm done. You know, and then out. I don't do that ghost stuff, man. Yeah, but I have like a crybaby bridge near me, but it's I think the origin was the woman was went insane and like something with her kids drowned, and at midnight you can hear the baby crying or whatever. I've been out there. I've never heard the baby cry or whatever, but it is a creepy place, sitting out there. Like a single one lane
Just
wooden
thinking
bridge.
about it.
Yeah. So man, yeah, I do want to talk about your wrestling, man. Like, man, I was watching your matches, man. I gotta ask you, were you always agile? Because you're in the ring and you're just like, it's like, doo, 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 doo. And it's like, man.
Honestly, I want to say I'm not athletic. I'm not an athletic person. I
Mm,
just make it. I just look athletic, and I
okay.
can do maybe 4 flips.
Man, because I wanted to ask you about the one move you do, man. Hold on, I had to write it down because I don't even know what it's called. I had to ask you what it's called. You grab your wrist, you hit the middle rope, bounce off of that, and then hit the top rope and like do a little arm drag or something on there. I'm like, oh my lord, I had to stand up and give you a stand ovation on that. My bagels were looking at me like, what in the world are you doing? I was like, yeah, that is awesome. Like, do you have a name for that
They
move?
start clapping with you. Honestly, I don't have a name for it. Like I
Mm,
haven't given it a name. The terminology in Lucha, it's called a matematica, which is like a
okay.
math term. I don't know. It's because there was a wrestler called El Matemático. He used to do it. Uh, he used to do a variation of it, but I took it one step up, jumped to the second rope. I do a front flip,
Hmm.
land sitting down. I flip backwards, and then I pull my opponent out.
Hmm.
That's basically the rundown. It doesn't have a name. I don't know if you want to name it for me. I'll
Yeah,
gladly
I
name
don't
it
know what
whatever
you
you
call it. I don't know. Mama Sugarbacks or something. They call it Mama Sugarback. I don't know, man. That's the
want.
first thing that came in my mind.
Mama sugar back like that.
Yeah, Mama Sugarbacks. I don't know.
Like
I was watching Key and Peele earlier, man. They were eating at that restaurant. Yeah, man. Because after you hit that, man, you got that awesome shimmy shake you do. You just like do that Eddie Guerrero thing. Is that the inspiration where you get from your little shimmy, man?
the shimmy's just to me. It's a
Yeah.
dance. You heard the music I come out to? Remember the little jingle?
Okay. 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 Yeah, I
It's
got
just
you. I
it's
got
just a
you.
vibe. It's a groove.
That's right. So yeah, you were saying when you started out, man, you wrestled in a mask, man. What's the difference between wrestling in a mask and not, man? Like, how bad is the peripherals? Like you got a mask on, is it like tunnel vision?
Honest, the mask was itchy at first,
Oh,
and
okay.
then after a while, I got used to it. And then one of my buddies just told me, "You're too cute to be hiding under that mask." And I took it to heart. I'm like, you know what? You're right. So I just wanted to take it off.
That's right.
Yeah. So
Hey, man, you gotta accentuate your assets. You know what I mean in this business. You know what I mean. You gotta do your thing, man. Whatever works.
there's more breathing room without a
Yeah, there
mask,
you go.
also.
That's right. Yeah, 'cause I seen you wearing a mask in a couple of your months, doing a little research and stuff. I was like, oh man, yeah, I'm gonna wearing a mask and then not wearing it. You probably like, all right, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I ain't gotta wear this mask no more. I'm cool. Oh man. So yeah, you said like Cena and all was your favorite growing up. Do you have any like favorite matches of Cena? Did you get to see SummerSlam this past weekend? Did you see him come back and fighting, Roman Reigns?
No,
Or you didn't get stuck in?
I watched the highlights on like Facebook and stuff that people post, but I haven't watched the event uh full, I
Hmm.
guess. Mostly because I'm busy most of the time just training. I don't really
Yeah.
watch wrestling shows full nowadays unless I'm there live. But I have a favorite match of John Cena's. Yes, I do. It's the match from, was it SummerSlam? No, it wasn't. It was in Chicago. The one with CM Punk when CM Punk won and he left,
Okay.
gave the kiss and
Yeah.
jumped the guardrail. That one, just because of the
I was
feeling of the match.
I was actually thinking they were going to do that again with Cena and Reigns. This time just put a little shit in okey doke. But then when they were like, yeah, if Reigns loses, he's leaving. I was like, man, you done ruined it for me, man. I was going to sit there and be like, yo, are you really going to do this? Yo, come on. Man, oh man, yeah, I wish that. Yeah, that'd been cool. So you said the farthest you traveled is California, man. So what was LA like? Was it pretty cool? How's the weather out there?
The weather was better than here in Texas. I honestly, I was wearing a long sleeve shirt. The sun was out. I looked really fly. No, but yeah, any weather that's not at 100 degrees makes me feel really good. So
Oh yeah.
LA, I honestly didn't get to enjoy much of LA. I was there for a few hours and then I
Oh,
flew
okay.
back here to Texas. So, but yeah, the weather was wonderful and the people were great. Everybody was nice. Everybody was polite for some reason. Here in Texas, a lot of people are rude sometimes. In Laredo,
Okay, I got you. Yeah, I guess it depends on where you go, man. I know sometimes, I'll go to Philly and people were rude, and then you go like 20 minutes south into like Delaware or whatever, and they're like, "Hey, baby, how you doing? You want this?" Da, 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 da. You're like, "All right, chill. All right, cool." Oh man. So, man, what else is there to do in Laredo, man? Do y'all have anything, cool to do out there? Do y'all have any sites like ghost towns outside of or anything?
Laredo is one of the most boring cities in Texas. That's what people say. Well, people from here say it. I honestly think you just need to go out and find
Mm,
something to have fun, something to entertain yourself with. I
yeah.
found wrestling, and I was lucky enough to find a bunch of wrestling rings all over Laredo. Uh, but there's this abandoned old not hotel hospital.
Mhm.
The hospital I was born in, it's called Old Mercy Hospital now.
Ooh.
It's haunted. I haven't been in there because I'm scared. I don't mess with any ghosts. I don't mess with any
Yeah.
scary movies. I sit down and watch Disney movies. I don't watch no Conjuring. I don't watch none of. But yeah, that place is haunted. There's also a haunted slaughter house
Mm.
in the middle of a park here in Laredo.
Oh man.
So that's also something people like to go watch. I
Oh,
think
yeah, that's
that's
pretty.
about
Hey
it.
man, yeah, I'm with you on the scary stuff, man. Like I've never in my life looked in the mirror and said Candyman, Bloody Mary, Beetlejuice, whatever many times you need to see them, because not because I'm afraid, but just in case. Like, what if it really happened, and I'm dead, my friends, they come see me in the, casket, and they're just like, dumbass, what I mean? I told you not to do it. And I'm like the scary movie, like, I'm like that scared. Oh, I'm just frightened.
Your
Oh
face.
man. So your next match is tomorrow, man. Do you have anything planned? Do you have any matches lined up after?
Yes, tomorrow I'm in Dallas in Fort Worth with Lucha Brutal. I'm gonna defend the Great State Championship against Chris Cruz, and then after that, next week I travel. I go to Detroit. I fly out to
Ooh,
Detroit to Chicago. Go to Detroit. Wrestle for GCW. I'm in a scramble match. I'm
mm.
wrestling Starboy Charlie, Gringo Loco, Tony Deppen, Jordan Oliver, and Rhino. Yeah,
Nice.
Rhino.
Oh man.
That's Rhino out of. It's a really random scramble, but it's gonna be insane. And then after that, I'm in a fatal four-way tag match for GCW in Chicago. It's myself and Laredo Kid versus the Mexicools, Super Crazy, Juventud Guerrera versus Ares and Gringo Loco versus Hijo de Canis Lupus and Dragon Bane.
Okay.
And then after that little tour, I come back to Laredo, and then it's on a Monday. That's weird. I wrestle here in Laredo, and I'm in a fatal
Mm,
four way. A guy called Red Dragon, not the tag
okay.
team, but Red Dragon, Laredo Kid, myself, and recently released Sin Cara, Cinta de Oro from
Oh,
WWE.
okay. Oh, that's
It's a
pretty cool.
fatal
That's
four
awesome.
way.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice, man.
So I
Man, that's
have a
awesome. Yeah.
pretty cool little schedule.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, it's definitely yeah, man. You sound busy and stuff, man. Oh, that four-way tag match. I'm trained like be a ref and a manager and all that, and that just right there, man, it's giving me like, whoo, man. I don't know what to do, man. Because you got your safe spots and all. Like, yeah, I got my little horseshoe pattern. It's like, Oh man, you got people here, like where do I go? Oh my lord. Let me just try to stay out y'all's way. That's all I'm gonna do. I can at least count to three. And then I was told, never bury yourself. Never, if you're a ref, don't bury yourself unless it's a lucha show. Then it's all good. You know, what I mean, they don't care about the ref. You can get beat up and do whatever. I was like, all right.
It's a lucha show. You could do a dive if it's a lucha show.
Yeah.
Dive on this. Do it.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, because I'd I'd learn to take bumps and rolls and stuff, and they're like, yeah, if you do a lucha show like managing, man, they might roll you into a corner or something, and there you are, like, oh, what the world, or something like that. I was like, all right, yeah, I got you. I'm kind of excited, man. I'm kind of excited. Like, I'm gonna get to do one sometime. I don't know when, but I'm kind of excited to do like a little taco festival and lucha show, man. I don't know if I should go out there and wear a mask while I'm repping or something, but I'm kind of excited. It would be awesome. So yeah, man, you're saying like, yeah, you don't watch like scary movie stuff. You watch a lot of Disney movies, man. What are you currently watching, man? Is there anything new that you're watching? Any new movies or anything? 'Cause I'm always looking for something new to watch. I always get stuck on the same things,
You get stuck on the same thing. I honestly have that same problem also. Like I recently watched most of the Power Rangers series, like the ones on YouTube, because it was on Netflix and they took it off. I watch a lot of old CMLL, the wrestling shows on YouTube also. I don't really watch any series. And if I do, it's mostly Disney Plus. I watch like The Sweet Life on Deck, The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, That's So Raven, Hannah Montana. Any of the new stuff, like I know people watch the Marvel stuff, all in the new series. I don't watch any of that. I'm not really caught up on all that. I'm a little boring.
Yeah.
I'm old school. I like the old stuff.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, yeah, because if you try to catch up with Marvel, I think you got like 20-some movies, man. You got like, yeah, all right. It's gonna take a while.
I'd be late to the party already.
Hey, man, yeah, because I've never watched a Harry Potter movie either and all, and I'm afraid, like, man, I gotta watch all of them and get it all together. And what if I like the first movie and I'm like, well, my day's shot, so I'm just gonna watch them all. My weekend shot, whatever.
Yeah, don't watch the first one because that's the best one.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, in my opinion.
Okay. Because I'm next year I'm planning a trip to go to Florida and stuff, and my friends and all were asking me like, yeah, you want to go to the Harry Potter thing and all? I was like, I know nothing about Harry Potter or whatever. I'd go in there and just be like, okay.
Buy a wand.
I know. Yeah, I just have a wand. I'd be like, yeah. I'd just be like Alakazam or like that Bugs Bunny thing, Walla Walla Washington. Just do it, just do some stuff. Oh man. So I do gotta ask, man. Since for as long as you've been wrestling, man, have you had any funny backstage or road stories that have happened to you? Like maybe somebody's forgot their gear or something like that, something crazy on the road. Something happened. I mean, you can change the name to protect the innocent if you need to.
I can what?
Change the name to protect the innocent if you need to.
Oh, I most definitely will. There's just this one incident where we were on the road, me and this other guy, and I really had to go to the restroom. And I'm telling this guy, you need to stop at the next gas station. And he says, the GPS shows no gas stations to like an hour. And I'm like, bro, my stomach is in a really bad spot right now. Like, you either have to stop or I'm just doing my business in your car. So he stops. We stopped at a park. There's a restroom. The restroom had a lock in it. So I ended up just going into the bushes and taking care of business in the bushes.
Hey, I would have done the same thing, man. I would just be like, look, tell my boy, hey, keep an eye out, make sure nobody comes up. And,
I was like, just don't look at me.
Just watch out. Just keep it. As long as you're going and nobody came up to you like Harold and Kumar, where he's in the woods and that dude just walked right up to him and he's like, "What in the world?" I'm like, "Yeah." You're like, "What is this? Your bush?"
This is your bush.
Yeah.
It was my territory.
That's right. I bet that bush was a healthy bush that year. You know what I mean? I bet it was it was real lively. Yeah, don't worry, I've had to do that stuff before, man. I come home late at night from work, man. It's like, oh man, I gotta go. It's like there ain't no bathroom. I remember one time I had to go in somebody's yard. So I know the next morning they went out there, it was like somebody's freaking dog. No, it's human. Who in the
Oh,
world? Like,
mm.
yeah. Yeah, this is like 20 years ago, so statute of limitations are yeah, good. Yeah, I was like 18, 19 at the time, so yeah, I'm good, you know what I mean? But yeah, man. Before I pass it on back to Remy, I do want to say, man, thank you for taking time out of your schedule, coming on chat with us, man. I definitely had a blast. I hope you keep your belt tomorrow, man. You go out and defend it everywhere and all that stuff, man.
Thank you. I'll
Yeah,
try.
man. Yeah, and I wish you nothing but positive things, man. To you and your family. I hope you. Oh, that's right. There you go. There she is. There's Goldie. That's right. All right, Remy.
ASF, thank you very much for giving us opportunity. We are very, very, very grateful for it as well. We've been trying for a year, and we're glad we're finally able to lock it down. All the best in your match against Chris Cruz tomorrow. Lucha Brutal ASF. I mean, Lucha Brutal's Hold My Beer. It looks like a great card. I know it's going to be a great card. I'm actually just. I'm not over there in Fort Worth right now, but I'll be there in spirit.
In spirit.
But yeah, before we go, you know what? We're gonna do a bit of a spin on things, man. What message do you have for your opponent, Chris Cruz, coming up this weekend?
Oh, don't even get me started. Don't get me started. Do you guys follow Chris Cruz on any social media platform? All he does is open his mouth, and he can't keep my name out of his mouth for some reason. Escúchame, porque yo sé que hablas español, Cristóbal. Este campeonato, this championship, is staying on my shoulder. You talk all over social media. I'm going to do my talking in that ring. Te voy a partir tu madre, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Oh snap! It's gonna be a crazy match, man. Hey, for those of y'all in Texas, y'all enjoy this show for me, man. I wish I was over there. Chris Cruz, you might have the work cut out for you, man. Hey, I wish I was there to see this. But ASF, before we let you go, man, where can fans find you on social media if they want to find out where your next appearances are, or if they want to purchase merchandise? So where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
I'm on Twitter and Instagram, VASF_27. On Facebook, there's the page Antonio San Francisco. You can go ahead and message either of those social media platforms if you want to contact me directly for any bookings for any shows. And for any merch, there's prowrestlingtees.com/ASF. And if you message any of my social medias, I also have my own merchandise that I'll gladly ship your way.
So y'all heard the man. Go ahead and follow him on social media. He gave y'all his social media platforms. He has merch. If you want to support indie wrestling, you can't make the shows, go cop some ASF merch. If you in Texas, there should be no excuse. Cop some ASF merch. If you don't, use a hater. And Rob Bass is going to come over to your house and eat all three of your meals. You're going to find a skip rope in your pot for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And he's about that life too. But once again, thank you very much for giving us the opportunity, ASF. It's about time we close the show. But before we do so, Rob Bass, where can fans find you on social media if they want to, talk wrestling? And where can bookers or promoters find you when they want to book you after you're done training to be a referee?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch, Rob_Bass82, and then Facebook, YouTube, Rob Bass.
Awesome. Y'all watch out. The Rob Bass interview is going to come on. Watch this. You'll see him with his striped shirt and everything, too. You're gonna see. Watch it. But if you want to follow me on social media, now that I have anything cool to say, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. You can find me on Twitter under @TheRemyBlue. You can find me on Facebook under Remy Blue. It's a picture of me at WrestleMania 28. You can also find our podcast on social media. We're on Twitter and Instagram under @Ringside Society. We're also on Facebook. Yes, we have a Facebook group, It's Ringside Society, so you can definitely join us on there. We're also on Twitch, which is one of the platforms where this episode is being streamed, and it's Ringside Society 2019. And we're also on Teespring. Yes, we have a Teespring store where we sell merch. So definitely go ahead and check out our merch line. We have a lot of great shirts, more great shirts to come. All proceeds from sales go back into keeping this show afloat. It doesn't go into our pockets either. And we're also on YouTube. Yes, we have a YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube, type in Ringside Society. If you see that logo over there, you'll definitely know it's us. So go ahead and follow us. Subscribe to all our videos. We got a lot more cool videos, a lot more cool interviews coming, like this one, like the interviews with both members of Horsepower. We got the Jasmine Allure interview. We got got many other interviews as well too. So definitely go ahead and follow us. We have more great stuff to come. And also big shout out to our head mod, Alicia the Warrior Princess from the Best Side, the West Side. You can follow her on Twitter and Instagram under Endo Survivor 282, and you can also follow her mom, who is our other mod, at on Instagram under Survivor Queen 424 and Twitter under Jenlyn Bar 1. But with that being said, we just want to thank everybody tonight that joined us. Thank you very much. We really and truly do appreciate it. To those of y'all that are going to listen to us later on via our platforms, thank you in advance. And for those of you that hate us, can't stand us, and really and truly wish we'd go away, well, I'm very sorry. But like myself at a Golden Corral and Rob Bass at the Hershey Park theme park in Pennsylvania, we're not going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
And we ain't stopping. So with that being said, we just want to let everybody know that we're very well aware that everybody and the grandparents and the parents have a podcast. But we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. We're definitely not just any podcast. Hey, yo, Rob Bass, one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, one time for Lucha Brutal. Hold my beer. And their great state champion. Give me a minute. Dulce Nino Hispano Antonio San Francisco ASF. What type of podcast are we?
Woo! We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right. We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. And we'll be back this Sunday with another episode. It's going to be 15 minutes of fandom that next time. But until then, we're still going through a pandemic. So stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.
See y'all. Good night. Stay classy, Delaware.